Obama never actually used the word war. He called this a counter-terror operation. So on a human level, does it concern you and your colleagues that we may be getting into something open-ended, where there's no end in sight?
Well, this is Iraq 3.0. We are going to war again in Iraq. American men and women, fighting men and women, are going to be in the line of fire. We're going to have aircraft there. We will have boots on the ground, special operators who are going to be working with, close with local insurgent forces against these people. We're at war. The president doesn't want to say this for political reasons because of his own political narrative, but we're at war.
And does it concern you that we might be there a very long time?
Well, it does. It concerns me that ISIS has grown and become such a dangerous organization. It controls space 3 times the size of Lebanon. Al-Qaeda never had more than $30 to $50 million. At their peak, these guys have $1 billion already. This is a problem and the president needs to deal with it, and we want him to deal with it. But let's be frank, let's be open, let's be honest with the American people. We're going back to war.
Jeff, let me ask you, because from what I understand, you're against any military action whatsoever. But when you look at that scene on the mountain, where you have, tens of thousands of religious minorities being threatened, well, either you convert or you die. What was the option there? Were we supposed to let them die?
Right. Well, I think the bigger question is you have to look at the politics behind it, and you have to look at when the U.S. is willing to intervene and when the U.S. is not willing to intervene, and how that aligns with the goals of the administration and the policy in place. So there are plenty of examples when the U.S. hasn't intervened. Most recently, we saw the conflict between Israel and Gaza when Palestinians were being slaughtered, and the U.S. had nothing to say about it. So I would pose the question, why do we sometimes intervene? Why do we sometimes not intervene?
Do you think we shouldn't have intervened on that mountain?
I think that we should look at examine the underlying causes that create organizations like ISIS, and we have to examine foreign policy, we have to examine economic policy, we have to examine inequality in the entire region that form a concoction that allow these kind of organizations to form.
Mm-hmm. Amber, let me ask you, the president last night talking about James Foley and Steven Sotloff and the death of these 2 Americans. Is that a reason for us to get involved? Is that human cost and those 2 American lives a reason?
Well, it's so much more than that. Yes, Americans are being killed by ISIS. ISIS is beheading Americans, and the president decided to say last night that they weren't an Islamic group. I thought that was very interesting in terms of messaging, why he was saying that when ISIS's message to President Obama is when he is killing Americans. And I thought that it was not hard hitting enough. I was expecting him, after he told the world that he doesn't have a strategy to fight this terrorist organization, and said, I'm working on one, we're going to have one soon. So when he came forward with the address last night, I really thought it was going to be something more specific.
But people are angry. They're fearful. So I guess
exactly,
maybe...
and he needs to redefine what combat is and what boots on the ground are, because he refuses to use those terms. He doesn't use the word war, and this is war. Whether he wants to claim it and use that word or not, we are getting involved in another war, and it is often because of our withdrawal from Iraq and the way he handled that.